so again, like I think a lot of people have this question around MS and like why to do it. So, I mean, what was it like? What do you learn in an MS in your course? Let's say MS in Analytics course. If you can like briefly say about.
Sure, sure. Yeah. So I think there are a whole lot of programs, especially in the US, from very different colleges, and sometimes they're from a business school, sometimes from a engineering school, and so on. So the one that I did is probably the only one that I can speak of with like
Sure.
full knowledge. And so that one had courses from business school, had courses from computer science school, as well as the industrial engineering and industrial and systems engineering school. So there were like 1 or 2 mandatory courses from them, each school. Yeah. And then the others were electives. And so me going into the program, I had like a pretty clear idea of what I wanted to spend my time doing there, right? So so that was get better at the statistics and the probability and computer science part of things. So the business aspect, at least the way I found, was things specific to that domain I might be able to pick up on the job, and actually having worked with managers or senior managers on the client side or on my company side. But the technical aspects of it, I'd probably not get time on the job to actually learn them rigorously. And so what I was trying to do in the MS program was take more courses in probability or statistics and computer science, and then focus on that. But I know folks who have wanted to come and focus on the business side of things as well. So at least in a program like the one that I did, and there was flexibility where you could choose, at least to a certain degree, the kind of courses that you want to take. And yeah, and so based on your background, you might be able to waive off some additional courses as well. So if let's say I had a pretty good background in business, then I don't have to do the mandatory courses in business or something.
And so how did you evaluate, like while you're applying? I mean, what was on your mind and how did you evaluate where you wanted to go? And how did you zero in on this?
Yeah, so
GeorgiaTech?
I'd say the first thing was, one, how good is the department? And let's say I'm spending a full year and probably a lot of money in doing that master's program. And so I wanted it to be a pretty good school. And also, of course, be sure about the placement. So that's another aspect. Going from India to the US and then doing a master's there, I should be able to kind of pay off my education loan, at least with a certain degree. Of course, it's not a certainty, but I should have, I mean, the college should have a certain amount of placements, right? I mean, placements might work differently between here and there, but at least to know that a good fraction of people get jobs after graduating within a certain span of time, that's reassuring when you're picking up a program. So that was one of the criteria. And then how reputed the college is, and specifically the departments. And yeah, I think those were primarily the considerations. And so, of course, based on the department, that the reputation of the department matters, because I want to be focusing on those courses. Like I said, those.
Is all this information available online, or did you talk to people?
All of that's available online. Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly, I mean, so I've talked to people, but that's been more for validating stuff. Once I collect that information and I have something in mind, then I want to either get information that can significantly disprove it, or make sure that that's the case. So that I did. But then you don't really need to talk to people to get that information in the first place, just to kind of get their perspective and maybe some specific information that you might not get online from. So say if you talk to someone who actually did that program, you might be able to get the specifics or nuances of that program, which you might not otherwise get.